Welcome everybody, Tamara Tamu here, back here again with another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. So this is day 5 of our self-gratitude odyssey, our self-gratitude expansion, our self-gratitude practice, whatever you like to call it, okay? It really doesn't matter, but this is about recognizing the self that goes beyond, that takes you beyond your normal senses, takes you beyond what you see in the mirror, all right? So that's what we're talking about during this 8 days. Remember, day 8 is March 22nd. That will be the end of this practice, but you can take these tips that we've gone over, take the things that we've talked about over these 8 days and apply it at any time. I really recommend, highly, strongly recommend that you do this every day. All right, doesn't have to be a long process. It could be a part of your meditation. You can make it infuse the self-gratitude into every single part of your daily life, including the mundane, what we consider to be the mundane. All right, because a lot of the times it is in the mundane that we take for granted, that we ignore, where Great Spirit speaks to us, where we get the downloads, where we get the inspired move or pull or call to take a certain action. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So day 5, here we go. Oh, and also I want to say this, don't forget that on the 8th day, March 22nd, that is when I will be dropping the 22% off code that you can use for your first month in the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School. I have been talking about it as the Unleashed Alchemy Mystery School, but I'm changing it to Unleashed Alchemy Magic School. I have changed the name. I will tell you why in another video. So let's get to day 5. So in day 4, we ended with talking about how the cosmic shift that you experience internally, before it manifests externally, you feel it on the inside of you. All right. That cosmic shift, regardless of what the external looks like, okay, regardless of your egoic opinion about it, regardless of what people on the outside are saying about whatever your external circumstances may look like, okay, there's a cosmic shift that takes place on the inside of you that leads to peace. Okay, it is a certain peace, it is a certain level of peace that you carry that can actually be triggering for some people, especially if you are experiencing a situation, an external opportunity disguised as a challenge, and your response to it may be throwing people off because your response is not, let me hurry up and rush and fix this, or let me rush to fix this, and you've got all this frantic energy that is pushing you to that, and that is what we don't want. Okay, but there's a certain peace and a certain calm that you carry that throws people off. Why? Because we are programmed to view outer circumstances that are unfavorable. We are programmed to automatically jump in with our claws, with our hands, most of the time messing it up. We are programmed to jump in and fix it because we have the audacity to think that if we don't have our hands in it, then it cannot be adjusted, it can't be changed. We are vessels of spirit. We are vessels of the cosmos. We have to understand, and listen, if you're not convinced by this, that's not my job to convince anybody. What you have to understand is that there are unseen benevolent forces that work on your behalf as an energetic being. That's what we talk about here. So again, if that's not what you're on, that's fine. Find another channel, because I'm not here to convince anybody. But you have to understand, as a cosmic being, and these are the realizations that come up to the surface when you are showing yourself gratitude. All right, when you are recognizing the self, all right, that transcends time and age. There are forces that are working on your behalf. All right. So that you can live the soul fulfilled life that you were called to live. All right. So you can function in your spiritual gifts in the way that you were called to function in them. All right. So we ended with day 4. We talked about the peace, the cosmic shift that leads to your peace, and you not being rattled if you don't have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G plan. Because you know that as a cosmic being, you are the plan. You rest in purposes that you came to fulfill. You rest in a calling that you came to exist in. All right. So, because you are the plan, you become aware, fully accepting that your self-worth is not validated or invalidated by anything external. That include, and I know I've been talking about challenges, but even beyond that, even if you are not going through, a particular challenge or opportunity disguised as a challenge, but anything external, business, career, money, anything external, material things, your self-worth is not, your self-identity, who you came here to be, is not validated or invalidated by anything external. And you understand that, you become aware of that. That is another awareness or consciousness upgrade that occurs for you when you are practicing self-gratitude, when it becomes a tool in your spiritual bag. All right. Whether someone congratulates you or compliments you or not, whether you receive recognition or not, you still remain cosmic. You still remain abundant. You still remain prosperous. You still remain the manifestation beast that you are. You still remain the magician. You still remain the alchemist. Your identity does not change. It is not affected. So take the peacock. Okay? When the peacock flexes itself through its feathers, whether someone takes a picture of it or not, whether someone looks at it, whether someone points at the peacock and say, hey, look at the feathers, the peacock is still flexing. The flex is still the flex. You are still the flex. Your soul is still the flex. Your spirit is still the flex. Your spiritual gifts are still the flex, whether someone recognizes it or not. All right? Take the ocean. Is the ocean not radical, whether we respect it or not? We have plenty of examples of that, okay, where people don't respect the ocean and their vessel implodes, all right? Whether people respect it or not, the ocean is still the ocean. So, going back to the external environment, if you are experiencing an opportunity or a challenge or an opportunity disguised as a challenge, it does not define or say anything about your self-worth. Okay? This is an opportunity for your essence to be magnetized, for you to get quiet and say and ask the question, who am I? This is the opportunity for you to say, okay, who am I? Where is the reroute? How am I getting rerouted here? I know that I'm still abundant. I know that I'm still powerful. I know that I am still prosperous. That transcends anything. So, where is the reroute? Who am I being elevated to? What other part of me is looking to be expressed now? What other part of me is saying, okay, now it's time for this layer to come off. It is time for this part of you. It's time for the teacher in you to be expressed. It's time for the healer in you to be expressed. It's time for the magician in you to be expressed. Those are the questions that come up, when you're showing yourself gratitude, when you're allowing yourself to rest in your identity, regardless of the external environment, when you allow yourself to rest in your self-worth, regardless of the environment, when you're allowing yourself to rest in your essence, regardless of the external, that is your medicine. So, I'm going to say this again. Because you are the plan, because you are the flex, you become aware of your self-worth. It is not validated or invalidated by anything externally. That is another way that self-gratitude is so essential to your spiritual practice. All right. So don't forget, stay around until the 8th day, March 22nd. I'm dropping that 22% off code to be used for your first month in the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School. I want to thank all of you for being here. I do see some new subscribers that are coming through. All right. Welcome. You are welcome here as a spiritualist. We are all fellow spiritualists who know that there's a reason why we are here at this time. There's a reason why we're being drawn to things that are spiritual. Okay. There is a reason why we're feeling this pull to understand more, that we can call the unseen into the seen. All right. So there's a reason you're here. Let's do this. Okay. Let's live our soul-fulfilled life. All right. Let's work and live life in our spiritual science. Let's utilize our spiritual gifts with confidence. Okay. Regardless of the external, because we know as cosmic beings, our internal cosmic shift will materialize on the external. That's just what it is. All right. So until next time, until day 6, cheers.